In the distant cosmos, Sergeant Ryan Harris embarks on a mission beyond imagination, spiraling into a battle for interplanetary peace. Amidst chaos on the alien world Zarin, he saves the Reina Zara, earning an offer of alliance through marriage. As alliances blur and duty calls, would you compromise honor for the chance at interstellar unity and survival? If you want to dive into real stories of parallel realities every day, in enigmatic, technological worlds that are completely different from our planet, subscribe to our channel and leave your like. Well, let's go. Far from Earth, on the mist-shrouded landscapes of Zarin, the unfortunate Zarkoni people find their tranquil lives shattered by relentless aggression from the dreaded Krar. For centuries, the Zarkoni cherished peace, enveloping themselves in a cultural tapestry rich with traditions and a deep, almost mystical connection to their planet. Their vibrant, bioluminescent cities sat nestled among swirling mists and ornate flora. It was a world where nature and civilization coexisted in harmony. But this idyllic existence was on the brink of collapse. The Krar, formidable warlords from a distant galaxy, reveled in chaos. With grotesquely technological war machines and an insatiable appetite for conquest, they saw Zarin's resources as ripe for the taking. Entire Zarkoni settlements were reduced to smoldering ruins in mere days, their once serene guardians scattered and desperate. In a last, desperate plea for aid, a distress signal was sent across the cosmos, crying out for help. The Earth's elite defense unit, the Terran Vanguard, received this call. Swiftly, a unit was dispatched into the cold void of space, answering the cries for salvation. This ensemble of Earth's finest warriors included an array of seasoned fighters, but none as prominent as Sergeant Ryan Harris. Sergeant Ryan Harris, a hardened soldier with sharp, calculating eyes set against a face weathered by both time and countless battles, was no stranger to the ravages of war. His presence exuded a quiet confidence, an unshakable resolve. His role as a tactical genius and his reputation for unwavering bravery precede him. To Harris, this mission was not just another assignment, it was an imperative, driven by a need to uphold the sheer principles of justice and compassion, especially for those unable to defend themselves. The Terran Vanguard descended upon the embattled planet, and the serene plains of Zarin bore witness to a collision of titanic forces. Amidst the swirling mists, the very ground reverberated with the ferocious exchanges of energy beams and deafening explosions. It was on these misty plains, where destiny carved a new path for Ryan Harris and the Zarkoni people. The battle raged, with the Krar forces advancing with malevolent precision, attempting to encircle and vanquish the beleaguered Zarkoni. Their Goliath war machines stomped forward menacingly, armed with devastating arsenals that belched fire and plasma. However, Sergeant Harris had always thrived under pressure. Commanding his squad with seamless precision, he orchestrated a counteroffensive, each maneuver a calculated strike against the Krar's seemingly impenetrable front. Harris' keen eyes noticed a distressing scene unfolding at the battle's edge. The Zarkoni royals, led by the revered Reina Zara, were ensnared in the Krar's advance, their very existence teetering on the brink of annihilation. Reina Zara, a beacon of tranquility among her people with a commanding grace that instilled hope, led her entourage with unwavering determination. Her presence alone was a symbol of unity and resilience for the Zarkoni. Without hesitation, Sergeant Harris charged towards the fray where the Zarkoni royals were besieged, his squad following with a fierce resolve. Plasma energy cut through the mists, Harris tearing through enemy ranks with a surgical precision and a steadfast heart. Against the cacophony of war cries and explosions, he reached Reina Zara, positioning himself as a bulwark between the Krar and the defenseless monarch. His valiant effort turned the tide, rebuffing the Krar forces and leaving their offensive in disarray. The aftermath of the skirmish saw the mists of Zarin settling, shrouding the battlefield in a delicate silence. The Zarkoni, though bruised and weary, greeted Harris and his squad with heartfelt gratitude. Harris, in particular, captured the attention of the Zarkoni's royal family, not just for his audacious gallantry, but for the sense of hope and capability he embodied. Rhaena Zara, her glowing eyes reflecting both exhaustion and admiration, bestowed upon Harris an acknowledgement few non-Zarkoni had ever received. His act of saving the royal assembly had not merely safeguarded lives, it had forged a nascent bond between Earth and Zarin. Harris and the Zarkoni leaders exchanged solemn salutes, a gesture transcending their diverse ancestries, symbolizing a newfound alliance rooted in mutual respect and a shared desire for peace. As dusk fell over the once tumultuous plains, Sergeant Harris stood alongside the Zarkoni, contemplating the looming horizon. The remnants of battle lay strewn across the misty landscape, a silent testament to the day's savagery and the valor displayed in defiance of tyranny. Amidst the ethereal glow of Zarkoni flora, Harris found himself at the cusp of an interstellar lore that would demand not just the strength found in weaponry, but the unyielding perseverance of spirit. The serene environment of Zarin contrasted sharply with the war-torn destruction left in the wake of the Krar. The surreal beauty of glowing flora and crystalline structures served as an emotional reminder of what was at stake. Sergeant Harris, reflecting on the day's events, could feel the weight of responsibility settling upon his shoulders. He was no longer just a soldier, he was the embodiment of hope, a living bridge that could potentially unite two disparate worlds against a common foe. In this moment of calm, Harris found himself thinking not just of Earth and its duty, but also of the Zarkoni, their pain, their resilience, and their culture, which was as foreign yet as compelling to him as the vast expanse of space itself. He took a deep breath, feeling the cool, mist-laden air fill his lungs. The road ahead was shrouded in uncertainty, fraught with peril and critical decisions that would test the very core of his being. The Zarkoni had shown remarkable fortitude, clinging to their principles of peace even in the face of annihilation. It was a quality Harris deeply admired but also worried might be their downfall if they could not balance it with the fierce resolve to defend their way of life. He speculated on the ethical dilemmas that such a situation generated, the cost of war on innocence, the value of peaceful negotiations versus aggressive defense, and the lengths to which he must go to ensure their survival against a ruthless enemy. As stars began to punctuate the twilight sky, the ethereal light shimmering off the bioluminescent plants illuminated the faces around him. Harris stood among the Zarkoni royal family, their silence speaking volumes. In their eyes, he saw hope mingled with uncertainty. Rhaena Zara, regal and majestic even amidst her exhaustion, offered a nod of acknowledgement, silently entrusting him and the Terran vanguard with their fate. Harris steeled himself. Little did he know, the choices he would make and the alliances forged in the coming days would alter the fate of two worlds. Sergeant Ryan Harris felt the tension in his shoulders ease slightly as he entered the opulent Zarkoni palace. The grandeur of the edifice was nothing short of awe-inspiring. Towering columns carved from iridescent minerals that shimmered under the ambient light stood as sentinels along his path. The walls, decorated with intricate mosaics of past Zarkoni glories and serene landscapes, told stories of a civilization both ancient and advanced. Majestic tapestries woven with strands of rare metals glimmered softly, adding to the ethereal beauty of the palace. Harris' steps echoed in the cavernous halls, a stark contrast to the silent footfalls of the Zarkoni royal guards flanking him. He was whisked away to a grand hall where the Zarkoni sovereign awaited him. The hall's ceiling arched high above, embedded with luminescent crystals that cast a kaleidoscope of colors across the room, mimicking the patterns of Zarin's night sky. At the far end, seated on a throne carved from a single massive crystal, was the Rhaena Zara, radiating an aura of authority and grace. Her emerald eyes, set against her silvery skin, regarded him with an intensity that made Harris feel both honored and scrutinized. As Harris approached, he was aware of every eye on him. The room was filled with high-ranking Zarkoni officials, each clad in flowing garments that undulated like liquid silver. Their expressions ranged from curiosity to cautious optimism. Standing beside Reina Zara were her daughters, Princess Nara and Princess Lyra, their striking appearances a testament to their royal lineage. Nara, with her luminescent blue skin and penetrating violet eyes, exuded a calm yet authoritative presence. Lyra, on the other hand, bore a more playful demeanor, her golden-hued skin and emerald eyes sparkling with mischief. Reina Zara rose from her throne, her presence commanding the attention of everyone in the hall. Her voice, though gentle, carried a weight of authority. She began by commending Harris for his extraordinary bravery, recounting the tale of how he saved her and her retinue from the merciless Krar attack. The hall reverberated with her words, each syllable a testament to the gravity of the moment. She spoke of the courage and selflessness he had displayed, qualities that were admired and revered in Zarkoni culture. It was then that Reina Zara made the startling proposal. She offered Harris a union, not with one, but with both her daughters, Princess Nara and Princess Lyra. The proposition was audacious, to say the least. The room fell into a hushed silence, the air thick with anticipation. Harris felt a wave of shock wash over him. He was torn between his duty to Earth and the potential for an uncharted alliance with Zarin. The weight of the decision pressed down on him, his mind racing with the implications of such a union. As he grappled with his thoughts, Harris' gaze fell upon Nara and Lyra. Nara's expression was one of solemn understanding, while Lyra's eyes sparkled with curiosity and a hint of excitement. The room around him seemed to fade into the background as he pondered the enormity of the decision before him. Could this alliance truly be the key to peace between their worlds? Was he ready to shoulder the responsibility that came with such a union? The tension was palpable, not just within Harris but among the gathered Zarkoni officials as well. Some exchanged anxious glances, while others whispered amongst themselves. The silence was finally broken by Harris, who, with a deep breath, voiced his intent to consider the proposal carefully. His words were met with nods of approval and murmurs of agreement among the officials, though the air of uncertainty lingered. Meanwhile, the looming threat of the Krar grew. Reports of increased Krar activity filtered in, casting dark shadows over the fragile peace that had been momentarily achieved. The Krar were relentless, their motives and origins shrouded in mystery. They were a force of chaos, threatening to plunge Zarin into turmoil once more. The Zarkoni military strategists gathered in secret, planning defenses and countermeasures to safeguard their world. Harris found himself thrust into these high-level discussions, his perspective as an Earth soldier providing valuable insights. His interactions with the Zarkoni military leaders were intense and often fraught with tension. They were an advanced society, but their strategies were rooted in traditions that sometimes clashed with Earth's more adaptive and fluid approach to warfare. Yet, through these interactions, Harris began to see the strength in their methods, their deep-rooted sense of duty, their unwavering commitment to their people. As days turned into weeks, Harris spent more time with Nara and Lyra. They introduced him to the customs and traditions of the Zarkoni, their rituals and ceremonies steeped in symbolism. He learned about the importance of unity and harmony in Zarkoni culture, principles that were embodied in every aspect of their lives. The palace itself was a testament to these values, designed not just for aesthetics but to promote a sense of interconnectedness among its inhabitants. Princess Nara's calm and composed nature made her an excellent guide through the intricacies of Zarkoni politics. She was a strategic thinker, her mind constantly working to find solutions to the challenges they faced. Harris admired her resilience and dedication to her people. Lyra, on the other hand, brought a sense of lightness to his days. Her playful spirit and keen intellect provided a much-needed respite from the weight of their responsibilities. Despite their differences, the bond between the sisters was evident, their mutual respect and affection a cornerstone of their relationship. One evening, as the sun set over the lush gardens of the palace, casting long shadows and imbuing the landscape with a warm, golden glow, Harris found himself in the company of Nara and Lyra. They walked along the winding paths, the fragrant blossoms releasing sweet scents into the air. The beauty of the garden was a stark contrast to the turmoil that loomed over them, a sanctuary amidst the chaos of war. Harris shared stories of Earth, tales of his home and the people he cared about. Nara listened intently, her violet eyes reflecting a quiet understanding. Lyra's laughter rang through the air as she marveled at the differences and similarities between their worlds. It was in these moments that Harris felt a sense of connection, an understanding that transcended their differences. As the days passed, the bond between Harris, Nara, and Lyra grew stronger. They began to work together on strategies to fend off the Krarr, their combined strengths creating a formidable team. Harris' military expertise, Nara's strategic mind, and Lyra's innovative ideas formed the backbone of their plans. They spent countless hours in the war room, maps and holographic displays spread out before them, plotting their next moves. Yet, the threat of the Krarr was ever present, a dark cloud hanging over their plans. Reports of Krarr incursions grew more frequent, their attacks becoming increasingly coordinated and brutal. Bound by honor and newfound affection, Ryan, Nara, and Lyra find themselves navigating the treacherous path set before them, forging a unity that transcends mere survival. With Zarin's breathtaking landscapes as their backdrop, the bond between the trio strengthens, feeding into the palpable tension that has gripped the planet since the Krarr offensive. Zarin's terrain, a mosaic of lush forests, crystalline lakes, and enigmatic floating islands, serves as both a haven and a reminder of the fragility of their world. Every dawn brings a breathtaking play of red and gold hues that reflect off the ethereal horizon, and every night, the twin moons cast an otherworldly glow, casting long shadows that dance under the starlit sky. Within this serenely chaotic environment, Harris and the princesses learn to recognize the intricacies of Zarkoni culture. The Zarkoni, humanoid yet distinct with luminescent eyes and skin that shimmered in soft spectrum hues, possess a deep connection to their environment and a history steeped in ancient lore. Harris marvels at their ability to navigate their world with an intuitive grace, understanding that his human strategies must adapt to align with the Zarkoni way of life. Princess Nara, with her inquisitive nature and strategic acumen, dives into exploring these synergies. Her pale lavender skin often glows brighter when she talks about the history and strengths of her people. Lyra, on the other hand, is a beacon of resilience with a warrior's heart, her darker amethyst hue resonating with a determination to reclaim their peace. Together with Harris's Earth-born military tactics, a plan begins to form. As the trio work to consolidate their knowledge and abilities, captivating exchanges of wisdom and culture unfold. During these discussions, they discover mutual strengths that galvanize their feelings of unity. Ryan realizes not just the tactical advantages of their bond, but also the emotional depth it brings, each moment with Nara and Lyra etching into his heart the stakes of their mission. Despite this period of camaraderie, news of an impending Krarr offensive emerges like a dark cloud. The Krarr, reptilian humanoid beings with a penchant for brutality, possess a technological acumen that is as fearsome as their merciless nature. Commanded by the ruthless Turak, they aim to crush the Zarkoni resistance and claim the resource-rich lands of Zarin for themselves. The Krarr's immense battlecrafts hover ominously in the sky, a constant reminder of the impending doom. The strategy sessions become more intensive, built around dismantling the Krarr's command infrastructure. Detailed surveillance reveals the Krar's reliance on a central command nexus situated in the mountainous region north of the capital. This stronghold is a labyrinth of fortified corridors and heavily armed outposts, teeming with Krar warriors and advanced defense systems. Ryan's mind flickers back to his training on Earth, to covert operations that relied on precision and stealth, a stark contrast to the open warfare the Krar seem to favor. What he proposes next is nothing short of audacious. A high-stakes infiltration mission targeting the nerve center of the Krar's operations. This plan must be executed with surgical accuracy, leveraging not just brute force but calculated cunning. On a windswept ridge overlooking the Krar stronghold, the alliance of Earth and Zarin begins its assault. Advanced stealth suits, a collaboration of Zarkoni biomaterials and Earth technology, shimmer around them, blending into the environment with near-perfect camouflage. The atmosphere is thick with the hum of anticipation and the raw scent of flora that masks the stark metallic tang of their equipment. As Ryan, Nara, and Lyra make their descent, the tension weaves an almost tangible thread between them. In the silence, save for the faint whirring of drone scouts, communicates a multitude of shared thoughts and fears. Their journey into the heart of the Krar nexus is fraught with peril. Automated defense mechanisms spring to life, torrents of energy beams crisscrossing the darkened corridors while Krar guards patrol relentlessly. Using a combination of Harris's tactical signs and the fluid, almost dance-like movements of Nara and Lyra, they evade detection, the synchronized thrum of their hearts pushing them forward. Nearing the command chamber, they confront Turak, whose imposing form is an epitome of Krar dominance. Scales glittering, eyes burning with malevolent intelligence, Turak prepares to decimate the intruders. The battle that ensues is a melee of strategic brilliance and raw determination. Lyra's dexterity with the Zarkoni plasma staff counters Turak's brute strength, while Nara's psychic prowess directs energies to dismantle Krar defenses. Without words, Ryan coordinates defensive flanks and counter-offensives, their movements creating a synchronous dance of survival. A critical moment shifts the balance. Turak, towering above them, makes a grievous error, underestimating the unity and resolve of his adversaries. In a flash, Lyra disarms him, and with synchronized precision, their combined efforts disable the command nexus. The Krar forces flounder, cut off from their centralized directives, the cohesion that once dictated their ferocity unraveling. As alarms blare within the stronghold, reflecting off the cold, metallic walls, an eerie silence descends outside. Signals diminish, and the earth beneath their feet seems to exhale a collective sigh of relief. They've achieved the impossible but at a substantial cost. Wounded yet unwavering, the trio make their escape as the Krar's command structure crumbles in their wake. Emerging into the daylight, a renewed sense of urgency propels them back to the capital. The final faint echoes of battle radiate around them, the landscape now eerily serene but devastated by the scars of the conflict. It is a moment both triumphant and heart-wrenching, the lull before an uncertain respite. Back in the palace, the weight of their endeavor crystallizes in the solemn eyes of the Zarkoni and their Earth allies. The Krar, though disarmed, is not entirely vanquished. The surviving remnants scatter into the wilderness, likely rearming for another advance. Yet for now, an embattled peace settles over Zarin, a fragile and solemn truce. Ryan, Nara, and Lyra, bearing the physical and emotional toll of their quest, stand as harbingers of a new dawn. But beneath their surface bravery, a deeper, more complex struggle simmers, the ethical implications of their alliance. Will this newfound union between Earth and Zarin embrace the whispers of mutual respect, or would dormant shadows of domination and political maneuverings taint their goals? As the sun again bathes Zarin in hues of hope and trepidation, the horizon hints at further trials they must confront. The undercurrents of mystery swirl around their future, leaving their destinies intertwined and the path ahead shrouded in uncertainty. As dawn broke over the Zaronian capital, the morning light cast elongated shadows that danced over the massive crystal spires characteristic of Zarkoni architecture. The various hues of green and blue in the skyline contrasted sharply with the shimmering armor of the anxious warriors below. The anticipation of a day filled with decisive conflict permeated the air, creating an almost palpable tension. Yet amidst the rising sun and the whispering winds, a sense of resilience was evident. This was not a society willing to succumb without a fight. Sergeant Ryan Harris stood at the forefront of the assembly, his human frame dwarfed by the myriad of towering Zarkoni soldiers readying themselves. Despite the differences in their physical forms, a mutual respect had been forged in the crucible of impending war, allowing them to unite against a common adversary, the Krar. Crafting a joint strategy demanded not only military planning but also a deeper understanding of the varied capabilities within their diverse ranks. Princesses Nara and Lyra had become invaluable in bridging these gaps, their intimate knowledge of both cultures acting as a linchpin in the collaboration. Princess Nara was garbed in her battle regalia, a testament to the rich cultural heritage of the Zarkoni, woven from tensile materials that shimmered in the early light. Her commanding presence underscored the gravity of the situation. Beside her, Lyra maintained an air of calm determination, her attire strategically incorporating elements of Earth military gear to optimize utility and strength. Their alliance with Harris had brought them to this precipice, where the line between triumph and ruin was razor thin. The Krar forces, a seemingly inexorable tide of relentless warriors, had bled across Zarin's borders. Known for their brutal efficiency and their hardened exteriors, they stood in stark contrast to the more harmonious Zarkoni. Yet, the Krar's unchecked advance came with a significant vulnerability, an over-reliance on centralized command structures. It was this weakness that Ryan, Nara, and Lyra intended to exploit. Their strategic goal was simple yet perilously ambitious: sever the head of the beast to let the body wither. The battle plan was dissected and disseminated among the troops. Spearheading the mission required a balance of courage and cunning, with Harris taking on the role of a tactical mastermind. His experience on the diverse battlefields of Earth had honed him into a formidable strategist, while his time on Zarin had added layers of empathy and acuity uncommon in most soldiers. The princesses mirrored his resolve, embodying the essence of their people's indomitable spirit. As the day wore on, the low hum of activated plasma weapons and the final preparations painted an atmosphere teetering on the edge of chaos and order. The capital city, known for its tranquil beauty, now stood fortified and ready for the impending storm. The Zarkoni air was filled with the urgent buzz of hovercrafts, sleek, aerodynamic vehicles equipped with advanced propulsion mechanisms, a staple of Zarkoni engineering. The first wave of the Krar attack happened swiftly, their shock troopers surging forward with mechanical precision. Defensive barriers were energized, and the initial clashes erupted with blinding flashes of light and the deep roar of heavy artillery. Harris, at the helm, directed formations with pinpoint accuracy. The hybrid forces under their command moved seamlessly under his guidance, a testament to the intensive training they had undergone. The clash underscored the brutal efficiency of their preparation, but the scale of the enemy presence was overwhelming. The Krar's central command complex, hidden deep within the planet's rugged terrain, was a citadel of impregnable design, or so it seemed. Intelligence suggested that the heart of their operations lay within this stronghold. Penetrating its defenses would require not just might, but guile and subterfuge, a mission for which the dynamic trio was uniquely suited. Known as the Crystal Citadel due to its seemingly impenetrable exterior, its defenses appeared insurmountable, a reality that the trio needed to challenge. Nara and Lyra brought to bear their indigenous knowledge of Zarin's topography and resources, identifying a network of subterranean caverns that could serve as a clandestine approach route. These tunnels, carved into the planet's dense crystalline bedrock, had long been a part of Zarkoni history, used in times past for sacred pilgrimages and ceremonial rites. Now, they would serve a far graver purpose. The decision to use these pathways was fraught with risk. Any missteps could lead to catastrophic consequences not just for them, but for the entirety of Zarin and Earth. With their course set, the infiltration commenced under the cover of darkness. Serpentine paths wound through the underground network, illuminated solely by the bioluminescent flora clinging to the cavern walls. Each step forward was a venture deeper into the unknown. The air was dense with the scent of mineral formations and traces of faint, ancient energies whispered through the gloom. The silence was periodically broken by the hum of distant Krar machinery, a stark reminder of the enemy lines they crept closer to. The descent through the subterranean labyrinth was grueling. It tested not just their physical endurance but also their mental fortitude. Along the way, Harris was reminded of the ethical conundrums that had surfaced on this foreign world. Together, they had faced issues of cultural disparity and ethical dilemmas, each question more loaded than the last. The alliance with the Zarkoni had raised complex debates about sovereignty, autonomy, and the ethics of interspecies intervention. Here, in the dark bowels of Zarin, those questions lingered like specters, compounding the tension surrounding their mission. Hours later, they reached an aperture, a gateway that connected the age-old tunnels with the advanced Krar fortress. Cutting through layers of security involved disabling sensor grids and bypassing electronic barriers, a blend of Zaronian code-breaking prowess and Earth's technological subversion. With every beep of a deactivated barrier and every hushed discussion over encrypted communication signals, their belief in the justice of their cause fortified their resolve. The stark contrast between the cavern's natural beauty and the mechanical coldness of the Krar stronghold was alarming. The transition from organic to manufactured, from bioluminescent glow to harsh artificial light, marked the dividing line between the world of serenity and aggression. Having surreptitiously slipped through, the team navigated the labyrinthine corridors with meticulous caution, every corner turned heightening the sense of impending collision. Central Command was a hive of activity. Alien voices and foreign sounds punctuated the air, mingling with the omnipresent hum of advanced machinery and harsh overhead lights. The Krar operated with a meticulous coldness, their communications swift and devoid of the richer emotional undertones evident in Zarkoni interactions. It was a chilling portrait of militaristic efficiency. At the heart of the fortification, in the control room, they would find their target, the high command leaders whose strategic decisions had orchestrated the torment of so many. To dismantle their reign, this nerve center had to be incapacitated completely. The destruction of the Krar marked not just an end, but the beginning of an era where the alliance between Earth and Zarin began to take root and flourish. Ryan, Nara, and Lyra found themselves at the center of this newfound unity, their bond symbolizing more than a personal or political alliance. It represented hope. In the immediate aftermath of the decisive battle, Zarin's capital city, Zaphiria, began its transformation. The skies, once filled with the chaos of war, now saw peace vessels gliding gracefully, a testament to the advanced technology and harmonious coexistence that Harris and the princesses had strived for. The landscape itself seemed relieved of a heavy burden, with lush, bioluminescent flora flourishing where shadows of conflict had darkened the ground. As emissaries between two worlds, Harris and the princesses were tasked with negotiating the intricacies of interstellar diplomacy. Delegates from Earth arrived on Zarin, their eyes widening in awe at the planet's striking beauty and its people's graceful, almost ethereal presence. The princesses showcased Zarin's rich cultural heritage through grand, luminescent ceremonies that celebrated cosmic unity. Zaronian dancers moved in graceful, hypnotic patterns beneath floating orbs of light, while ancient melodic chants filled the air with a poignancy that was both ancient and timeless. Such cultural exchanges were not without their challenges. Skeptics on both sides questioned the sincerity and feasibility of this alliance. Beyond the ceremonial displays lay the hard work of policymaking, establishing protocols for technology sharing, environmental sustainability, and mutual defense against future threats that might rise from other corners of the galaxy. Ryan Harris, alongside Nara and Lyra, navigated these turbulent political waters with careful determination. As they visited each settlement, whether on Earth or Zarin, they encountered veterans who bore scars from battles long past and saw the hopeful eyes of young children who knew nothing but the present peace. For the veterans, they promised stability, healing, and respect. For the children, they spread messages of unity, bravery, and the power of understanding. Emerging technologies became a focal point of their endeavors. The fusion of Earth's innovation and Zarin's advanced understanding of energy and matter allowed for the creation of hybrid technologies. Among them were energy shields capable of protecting entire habitats, quantum communication devices ensuring instantaneous and secure exchanges across vast distances, and sustainable energy sources derived from Zarin's unique ecosystem. These advancements ushered in an era of prosperity and exploration. However, the shadows of the past lingered. Some Krar remnants still roamed Zarin's wilderness, remnants of an enemy looking for any opportunity to regain power. These pockets of resistance necessitated constant vigilance, and Harris led expeditions into the wildlands to root out any lingering threats. One particularly harrowing mission saw Harris and his team face an ambush deep within the crystalline forests of Zarin, a hauntingly beautiful but treacherous terrain where towering crystal formations refracted light into dazzling, disorienting displays. Harris employed both Earth and Zaronian tactics, using a combination of brute force and elegant maneuvering to defeat the Krar insurgents. Emerging victorious, the experience only solidified his resolve in the alliance's importance. In quieter moments, the connection among Ryan, Nara, and Lyra deepened. The shared experiences of war and peace, loss and hope, forged an unbreakable bond. Their relationship transcended conventional norms, weaving together the values and strengths of two worlds. Together, they became architects of a new era. Princess Nara, an astute diplomat with a heart full of empathy, often took the lead in political negotiations, charming Earth officials with her wisdom and grace. Princess Lyra, known for her strategic brilliance, worked tirelessly to ensure that their defense protocols were impenetrable, training Earth and Zaronian soldiers in unified combat techniques. Ryan, who had once doubted his role in this cosmic dance, found solace in his companion's strength and unwavering dedication. He became the linchpin, the bridge between Earth's pragmatic militarism and Zarin's ethereal philosophies. His actions proved that a single person, driven by love and duty, could indeed alter the fate of entire worlds. The alliance's success soon spread beyond Zarin and Earth. Messages of peace and cooperation were transmitted across the galaxy, encouraging other civilizations to consider similar unions. Ambassadors from previously unknown worlds began to arrive, drawn by the tale of an extraordinary soldier and two princesses who had defied the odds. These visitors brought with them their own traditions, stories, and dreams, further enriching the burgeoning interstellar society. As years passed, the once unimaginable dream of lasting peace became a tangible reality. The legacy of Ryan, Nara, and Lyra lived on, immortalized in songs, stories, and monuments erected both on Earth and Zarin. They continued to guide their people, not just through words but through actions that exemplified courage, unity, and compassion. The saga concluded not with an end but a beginning, as the cosmos watched a new era unfold. It was a time of exploration and understanding, where the lessons of the past ensured a brighter future. The echoes of heroism, love, and alliance reverberated through the stars, a beacon for all who yearned for a better tomorrow. And so, in the vast, timeless expanse of the universe, the tale of Sergeant Ryan Harris and the princesses of Zarin stands as a testament to the indomitable spirit of unity and the boundless possibilities of peace forged in the crucible of conflict. The final whisper of their story is a gentle reminder of the power of courage, love, and the enduring bonds that can transform galaxies. If you liked this story based on real events, subscribe to our channel and don't forget to like it. Here you can dive into a different reality every day, where anything can happen. Comment below what kind of story you would like to hear here. Thank you very much for your attention. We are the Sci-Fi family.